In beautiful Stafford, Virginia, the greens and fairways are just the beginning. Discover our scenic trails, paddle our rivers, and enjoy nature's grandeur. Your taste buds will thank you as you visit our award-winning breweries and wineries. In Stafford, the history, stories, and legends of America's past are waiting to be discovered. Whether you're chasing outdoor adventure, family fun, or a place to unwind, Stafford has it all. Just off I-95 and closer than you think. Plan your visit at tourstaffordva.com. Stafford, where your story starts.
A new kind of golf shoe. The first real balance of lightweight comfort and proven performance. More stability, more comfort, more distance. The new LT series by Squares.
Introducing the Level Playing Field podcast, a video podcast dedicated to shining a light on the new and ever-changing world of amateur and professional sports. Featuring Olympian and NCAA standout wrestler Dennis Attia sharing his bold opinions on the development of NIL, the transfer portal, and how collegiate scholarships are being reshaped across the country. Each episode dives into the stories, the controversies, and the real impact these changes are having on athletes, schools, and fans. You can find every episode on YouTube, Spotify, and at DennisAttia.com.
I learned in the Marine Corps, when I carried a rifle during the Vietnam War, that you always do what you say you'll do, period. I said our new Gen 6 golf clubs would be of the highest quality, incredibly long, blazing fast, beyond forgiving, and gorgeous to look at, and I'm here to tell you today, they are exactly that. To learn more, visit pxg.com, then schedule your custom fitting today. Hoorah! PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Hello and welcome to the Golfin Around Radio Hour. I'm your well-traveled, exhausted host, Randy the Tank Tantlinger. I just flew in from Ireland, and boy, are my arms tired. I've been gone for a couple weeks now, about 3.5 weeks. We got a great show for you this week. I was in Scotland in beautiful St. Andrews with our Team USA national champions. We're going to get to that later in the show, how you could win a trip, even if you're a hacker golfer, to St. Andrews in 2027. Log on to usascotlandgolf.com, usascotlandgolf.com, and you'll see exactly why. And of course, I was 2 weeks in Ireland playing some of the greatest golf courses, well, on the face of the planet. You know, and you hear about Irish hospitality with smiles and greetings. It is not a myth. It is true. Now, the leprechauns and unicorns, they're not a myth too, especially if you've been drinking in downtown Killarney on a Saturday night. You know, folks, I grew up in the land of Arnold Palmer, Latrobe, Pennsylvania, Ligonier, Pennsylvania. It's almost as if God put his thumb on Ligonier, Pennsylvania and said, you know what? This place is special. This place is special. And if you've ever been to the Ligonier, you know how beautiful it is, how there's a feeling of peace and tranquility in Ligonier. And one of my favorite golf courses, Ligonier Country Club, right there on 7-Eleven, is playing host to an event I just learned about. Okay, but it's right up my alley. And maybe for you as well, you might want to play in this event on Friday, May 15th, in a couple weeks from now. And I'm going to give you the website right out of the... Well, I'm not going to give you the website. You know who best would be to give you the website right out of the gate is our good friend, new friend, Mr. Brett Walker, who is at the Ligonier Country Club as I speak to him today, who is dressed in his finest 1920s regale, from what I can tell you. Brett, what era would you say you're wearing today for your golfing outfit there at the Ligonier Country Club? 1927?
And 1927 to 1930s, kind of the golden age of golf.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, if you're a fan of Ligonier, if you're a fan of helping out charitable causes, then I want you to listen up about Friday, May 15th, and I bet the weather's going to be spectacular in Ligonier. John is involved with the event. It's called the Kingsgate Par-Tea, P-A-R-T-E-A, that is going to benefit a great local charity. John, sorry. I was thinking about our good buddy, John Rusbosson.
John Rusbosson, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about him before we went on the air. Shout out to John Rusbosson. Brett, before we start, what is the website for people to find out about the event and come and play?
Sure. It's www.guildfellows, all one word, G-U-I-L-D, like a trade guild, fellows.org. www.guildfellows.org, and they would just go to the events drop down and look for the Kingsgate Par-Tea.
Well, that's great. And folks, we're going to let you know what that website is again. Brett, I'm just fascinated. The second I learned about this is my cup of tea, as it were. Please tell the folks all about the event on May 15th.
I'm glad to. So what we've decided to do here to support a school that we're starting, and we'll probably talk about that a little later, is we wanted to really give people a feel of going back in time and combining that with golf and just the feeling of yesteryear, which of course you've already noted, Ligonier is very good at that. So working with Bill Elliott here at the Ligonier Country Club, we came up with the concept of doing a hickory stick golf outing. So the hickory stick clubs that would have been in vogue in the 1920s, 1930s, up into the 40s. And that runs from 10 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Going to have the Boilermaker Jazz Band from Pittsburgh coming and playing Benny Goodman and Glenn Miller in the background. We're going to have a bagpiper on course.
That's what I listen to in the morning at the gym.
Yeah.
Station. And you know, that old, I call it that tinny music.
Yeah.
From the 20s.
Well, this will not be tinny. This will be live. This will be the real McCoy. And then we have a bagpiper on course. Going to have some fun skill contests. And then that wraps up, 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's a little slower with playing some of the hickory stick holes. And then we basically go to the nearby Ligonier Camp and Conference Center. And that's where we're having a proper afternoon tea like you would see at the Savoy in London. And that starts at 4 o'clock. That's traditional tea time, spelled T-E-A time. And that runs till about 6 o'clock. That's where we'll have some speakers, auction items, some really exciting auction items, some raffles. And so basically it's wraps up crisply at 6 o'clock. People still have a chance to go to one of the wonderful restaurants in the area to have a proper supper. It's the tea, of course, is very light fare, but we're looking forward to having a bunch of people. This is our first year, and we're hoping this will really, we'll be able to get at least par, if not, up to eagle or something on this first try. And then if we can do that, then we're looking to make this an annual event.
You're listening to the Golfin Around Radio Hour. I'm Tank Tantlinger talking to Brett Walker, who's having a great event at the Ligonier Country Club on Friday, May 15th, just a couple weeks from now, folks. Log on to guildfellows.org, G-U-I-L-D fellows.org to register and find out more. Now, Brett, we talked about the hickory clubs. Okay, yes. So I got a couple questions, and this is for our listeners right now. If you don't own hickory clubs, you guys can provide equipment that day for the golfers, or are they allowed also to play with traditional clubs that day?
Absolutely. People can make their choices. In fact, we encourage people to bring their clubs with them. We're going to be providing hickory clubs on a number of the holes, and it's just a fun thing to try. It's a chance to kind of feel how the game was during its golden years, how people like Arnold Palmer probably would have first been exposed to the game. So those will be provided on the course, and then of course people bringing their own clubs, that's highly encouraged. It's a slower game. obviously. Some people call it the great equalizer. You can have a hack golfer and somebody who's pretty good on the links, and they might do about the same, give or take, on with the hickory stick club. So it will view it as a challenge, something you've never tried before if you haven't tried it. And of course, we're being helped along by the Golf Heritage Society on this. So they've been great about helping us to support and get this going.
So, Brett, I've got to ask you again, this is going to be a great day, folks. You got to go to this. You absolutely have. If you want a nice day in the mountains for a good cause, this is the event you're looking forward to. Brett, let's go back to the charity. All right. In the work you're doing and the money that raised that day for what it's going to.
That's great. Yeah, I'm very passionate about this. I like to start with the why on this. Why would we be doing what we're doing? And it's because we really care about young people. We want to see them. Oftentimes when we think about people going through school, gaining a career, we think about what they do. We're kind of thinking in a different direction. We're thinking about who they are, and that what they do will be just a part of that. And so we're taking the considerable strengths of what's called classical education, which if you know anybody from Aristotle to Augustine to Aquinas to Francis Bacon, William Shakespeare, George Washington, classical education was the norm for a couple of thousand years, and it's experiencing a revival right now. But it's generally aimed at kids that are specifically going in a college track. I'm a tradesman. I'm a shoemaker by training, have been a shoemaker for not quite 30 years. And my father was a tradesman. He was a brick mason by training. And so I have a passion for seeing trades continue and to thrive. And that's something we're excited about. We want to put the two together. We're kind of grafting them together, if you will. So you have the considerable strengths of the philosophy of classical education being combined with a traditional trades apprenticeship. And that's for ages 12 through 18. When they finish with their high school diploma, the idea is that they now have a skilled trade that they can use to work their way through college or perform the trade as a trade. And that's where the idea of Kingsgate comes from. That's our crown jewel for our nonprofit that we formed, and that's what we're working towards here.
Where will the school eventually be built, or is there currently a facility? Where would the high school be located at?
So we want to be in the Laurel Highlands. That's our hope, in Westmoreland County here, Pennsylvania. That seems like that's where we've gained the most traction and the most support from people. We have formed a nonprofit, which is called the Fellowship of Arts and Mysteries. And I know that sounds like a Tolkien novel, which is not entirely unintentional. But Arts and Mysteries is just an old way of saying skilled trades. And so we formed this a couple of years ago. We have right now 3.5 acres with two hewn log structures on it, and an old, what was formerly the Stallstown Dance Hall. And that's what we're starting with. And we're hoping that as we grow, as we build strong, then we'll be able to expand beyond that. But we're essentially out between Stallstown and Donegal, Pennsylvania right now.
I think I took Joni Firestone of Stallstown to that dance hall once.
You may have.
I could be completely wrong. Hey, you're listening to the Golfin Around Radio Hour. We're joined by Brett Walker, who is throwing a wonderful event in the heart of the Laurel Highlands in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, Friday, May 15th. Friday, May 15th. It's a charitable event, folks. You're going to help build a school to help raise some fine ladies and boys, turn them into gentlemen and ladies. It's a wonderful event, but let's talk about fun. P-H-U-N. Brett, fun. This sounds like an absolute blast that day. Again, folks, registration begins at around 9 a.m. Tee off 10 a.m. And again, if you don't have hickory sticks and percha gutter balls, they'll be provided for you. I mean, let's be honest, Brett. Most golfers aren't walking around with a percha gutter ball these days.
Right. Right. Yeah. So we've been able to work with a number of the members of the Golf Heritage Society. We're acquiring, in the process of acquiring, in fact, a number of golf club sets. And at the tee, when people come into the Joshua House, the beautiful Joshua House at the Ligonier Camp and Conference Center, overlooking the Ligonier Valley, it's just a lovely site. In the lobby, we're actually going to have a gentleman who's a doctor near Pittsburgh, who is a member of the Golf Heritage Society. He also makes hickory stick clubs by hand.
That's
So he'll be
Dr.
set up.
Bern Bernanke, I bet.
What's that?
Is that Dr. Bern Bernanke?
No, this is this gentleman. His last name is Nahum, Dr. Nahum, Nahum, and he's going to be demonstrating how hickory stick clubs are made. So we're going to have him there. We're also going to have a tailor who makes hand-tailored suits, and he's going to, one of the auction items is going to be a hand-tailored shirt for a man. And he will take the winner's measurements right then and there and make sure they get a hand-tailored shirt.
All right. Well, Brett, that sounds awesome. I'm prone to just grab a stick off a tree and I'll have the good doctor whittle it down. But in all seriousness, folks, bring your conventional clubs too. This is about a relaxing day, enjoying yourself around some good people for a good cause to build the school. Bring your conventional clubs, hit a few gutter balls with some hickory sticks, enjoy the day. But the entertainment, Brett, has me excited too about the Boilermaker Band. We talked a little bit, Sinatra is right up my alley. Glenn Miller, it's a good way to start out my mornings, a little Dean Martin music. Just a great day, the Boilermaker, man. How many guys are in the band?
Well, they have a variety of different sizes of band, depending on what you're looking for. We wanted a nice little quartet. So we're going to have upright bass, a drummer, a guy playing the piano, and then Paul Constantino, who is the band leader, plays clarinet and saxophone. So they'll be doing, they've got a great repertoire of vintage jazz pieces that they'll do. And they're going to start up around 11:30 or so as people are making the turn and getting their lunch. And then they'll just continue playing as people are finishing up the day. That's going to be a great feature. We're hoping to do that every year, make sure that everybody has the jazz band in the background as part of. I feel like that fits the what we're trying to do.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful, wonderful. Again, we're talking to Brett Walker about the wonderful Kingsgate Par-Tea, TEA, coming up Friday, May 15th. It should be a beautiful day in the Laurel Highlands. Brett, give them the website again.
It's www.guildfellows, GUILD, like a trade guild, guildfellows, all one word, .org. And the event posting would be under the event drop-down. It's the Kingsgate Par-Tea, PAR-TEA.
This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I wish you a lot of success. I love the cause about classical education. Some of the first of all, I'm a huge George Washington fan. I go down to the Fort Ligonier event. It's called 12th Night. It's an end of the Christmas celebration, and Mindy and I put on our
great event. That's a great event.
Yeah, isn't it though? So I may show up there that day dressed like George Washington. Now, look, I don't know if George ever played golf or not, but he will that day.
Hard to say.
Well, Brett, I wish you great success with the event, and perhaps looking forward to meeting you that day. All right, folks, you're listening to the Golfin Around Radio Hour. When we get back, we're going to talk how you, the average golfer, could win a trip to St. Andrews, Scotland.